In this video, I'm going to be reading viral book talk books to see if they're worth the hype. So make sure you subscribe because there's new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Good morning! Somebody on some Kardashian show or some kind of reality TV show says that, and I cannot get it out of my head now that I have just thought about that this morning. Sorry it's so windy. We're in the Midwest. That's just the way that things are. But we are going to be reading viral book talk books in this video, and I feel like it's going to be such a fun video because in the last video I did, you guys loved when I read viral book talk books because some books are just overhyped, you know what I mean? And you just never really know until you get a bestie who can recommend it to you if it's good. So anyway, we're going to be reading viral book talk book. This is the book that we're going to start with, Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I read the entire Dreamland Billionaire series and I rated all 3 of them 4 stars. Absolutely love them. So I figured we should jump into this series because book 2 comes out, I think, in June. And the cover is a pink cover, like the second book that comes out, and I know I'm going to want to buy. And I've only read one series by Lauren Asher, and her writing is so easy to read usually, and so I always feel like I eat up her books. So I'm really hoping that this is going to be a 5-star read for me. It has been on my TBR for so long, and yeah, this is gonna be a fun video. I definitely want to add in books that are on Black Book Talk. I feel like that hashtag, you pick up so many different types of books. So if you're not really reading diversely or you can't find diverse book recs on Book Talk, type in that hashtag. I feel like there are so many books that people talk about that don't really come up under the hashtag book talk, with books and stuff, but they're definitely highly recommended, like Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola, or Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. All of those books I feel like have come up under popular book talk books under Black Book Talk hashtag, which I don't know. I wish that all of books by every author would populate under I don't know, popular search terms, but I feel like unless everyone is reading them, they're not going to be as popular, if that makes sense. So read diversely if you're not already, because it's important to hear other people's stories. But we're gonna jump into this book. I really hope that I'm gonna love it. I feel like I'm gonna speed through this because her books are always so fast-paced. So let's get into it.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
I'm about 66 pages in to Love Redesigned. I read a good amount this morning and it's just okay so far. I'm not obsessed with it, and I always feel like if I don't like a book 100 pages in, the book is probably not going to be for me. But this book is really long. This book is 513 pages, so I'm going to give this book a little bit more time before I fully give my thoughts on this. I think that I went into this with such high expectations because I love the Dreamland Billionaire series by the same author, and I'm loving the writing style. I'm reading it super fast. It's not boring at all, but the storyline just isn't really capturing me. The 2 characters are kind of rivals, but they were also friends when they were younger, but you're not really getting snippets of their relationship when they were younger. So to me, I'm they're just rivals. I don't even know what their relationship was before this book started, and they do not like each other in this book. There's a little bit of chemistry, but I feel like I need to get a little bit more of their relationship prior to the current time when they hate each other for me to really ship them. So we'll see how I feel about this as the story goes on. Again, I will say it is enjoyable to read. It's fast paced. And I feel like I don't read books very often that have Spanish embedded in the story, which I also think is really beautiful. So I'm definitely going to continue to read it, but I'm going to put it down for a minute and pick up A Love Song for Ricky Wilde. I've heard great things about this book. You guys know that I went to the book signing with Tia Williams, and I just loved 7 Days in June. I think that if you go into reading 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, you do have to go into it expecting a book that isn't just about the romance. Like, this book, I feel like, is going to be similar. So I'm kind of going into it expecting a romance, but also expecting so much more. So we will see. I do think that some people have given this book not the best reviews, so I'm also a little worried that maybe I won't like it, but you guys know I'm always reading multiple books at one time, so I am hopefully gonna really love this one once I get into it. I need to be so incredibly for real right now. I don't know how I feel about this book, and I think it's because this book is giving historical fiction to me, and that is not my vibe. I'm on chapter 18, so I've read a lot, but there's just, I'm loving the romance in it. Like, the romance is like that magnetic, like, incredible love, but there's so much history of like the Harlem Renaissance, and then there's also like a magical aspect, which you guys know I don't really care too much for like fantasy or magical realism or anything like that, and I figured it would be pretty subtle because like it is like, I don't want to say branded, but like it is in the like contemporary fiction section, but it has been like really, I wouldn't say pushed as romance, but like I guess I just thought it was like a true romance, but it is, I guess, in the contemporary fiction section, so I should have maybe thought like a little bit more deeply about it, but I don't know how I feel. Like, I am obsessed with like the main characters in this and their love. Like, they have a love that like keeps pulling me back in for more, but I don't really care for magical realism, and I don't really care for historical fiction, and this is definitely giving both of those things. This is also a book that is very like descriptive, but I do think the pacing is great. Like, the pacing is something that I feel like is easy to read for someone who is going to this not expecting a romance. But I think I went in expecting a romance, but like themes of like family and like stuff like that, kind of like 7 Days in June, because I feel like Tia Williams just adds in other like, I don't want to say tropes, but like other important like topics. It kind of reminds me of like Emily Henry's writing, in a sense that like, you know, you're not just going to get the romance, which is fine. Like, I love books like that, but the romance is heavy. But man, I just do not care at all to learn about like the magical realism side, and then I also don't really care too much to learn about like the historical side. I mean, it's great to learn, but like I just don't really gravitate towards books like that. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel once I finish this. I feel like right now it's looking at like a 3-star. I mean, Ezra and Ricky are literally like, I'm obsessed with them. Like, I'm obsessed with their love. It is very like, it reminds me of like the old-timey love, like the he's a gentleman, and like just all of those things I literally am eating up. But the other parts of the story are really keeping me from being obsessed with it. So again, I think that whenever I recommend books, I always like to share like why I'm like not really vibing with a book. Like, if it has too much spice or like whatever, and like if you love spice, then you'll love that book. And same with this, like, this has such an incredible storyline, but again, I feel like you have to really love like historical fiction or like the historical, like, and it's not even like boring historical stuff. Like, it's like the Harlem Renaissance and like sprinkling that in. So it's not like it's like a freaking textbook or anything. It is interesting, but I am just here for romance. Like, I'm here to eat up Ezra and Ricky's love. Like, that's all I care about. And I keep being like, okay, when am I gonna get back to the romance? Like, it is just, I want to love this so bad because I love their love, but I just think that it's just not my favorite. So I don't know, I'm kind of sad about that because like I love Tia Williams' writing. I feel like she always has such deeper themes that really make me think, and she talks a lot about healing and family and stuff, but I don't know, this just isn't doing it for me in the same way as like 7 Days in June. But I will give you guys my full thoughts probably tomorrow when I finish it on page 238, and there's like 339.
So I have like 100 pages left, so I'll have like a better idea tomorrow, but I just had to share that while I'm thinking about it. I'm just like, what is going on? Like, I want the romance so bad. Like, is it bad that I just like only care about the romance? Like, is it? Like, I don't know, that's just what I like, I guess. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I'll give you my update tomorrow.
This is the most I've been relaxed in a very long time. I'm outside again. I've been trying to get outside every single day, but like in the morning, and it's been starting my days out exactly like in the best way. Like exactly the way it needs to start. I brought out Love Redesign. I am on chapter 22. It hasn't really picked up. Like, it just isn't doing what it needs to do for me. I'm gonna keep reading it, but I am going to start People We Meet on Vacation. This is the only Emily Henry book that I have not read. I actually shared this on my Instagram stories. If you guys aren't following me there, you definitely should. I am definitely very chatty about books on my stories and like feed and stuff, but I'm really excited to start this. I feel like this is the most beautiful setting to start a book. Like, there's flowers, birds, like all the things, and I just like, I'm really excited to be reading outside. Also, no, before anyone asks, I did not make this sweater. So many people love this sweater, and I have another one that's like similar to it. I will link it below for you guys. It is handmade, so it is pricey, but I love supporting small businesses. I also brought some snacks. Can't go anywhere without snacks. These Quest crackers are so freaking good. Only on the first page of this book, but I'm already like just reminded of how much I love Emily Henry's writing. This literally starts off, on vacation you can be anyone you want, and then this whole chapter, or not chapter, but like these few paragraphs go into like how on vacation you can do whatever you want. Your hair changes, the water is different, maybe shampoo, and you just think like, oh, I can be this person maybe when I get home. Maybe I can do this at home too. Maybe I can be this person who doesn't brush your hair, or who doesn't mind being sweaty or having sand in all your crevices. You're whoever you want to be. You can do whatever you want. I just like love this. It just really encapsulates the feeling of summer and vacation. I just love the way Emily Henry describes things in books. Sorry, someone is like mowing grass or something, but it's like just loud, can't help it. And of course it gets a little bit windier, but I love the way that Emily Henry describes things in books, because I feel like I really know all the characters because of her descriptions. Like, the main character, she's asking this guy, she's like, so what's your friend like? Hot, smart, loaded? And the guy, he goes, short, he says, loud, never shuts up, spills on every single article of clothing either of us wears, has horrible romantic tastes, sobs through those commercials for community college. You know, the ones where the single mom is staying up late at her computer, and then when she falls asleep, her kid drapes a blanket over her shoulders and smiles because he's proud of her. What else? Oh, she's obsessed with crappy dive bars that smell like salmonella. I'm afraid to even drink the bottled beer here. Have you seen the Yelp reviews for this place? And then she goes, are you kidding right now? Like, I just feel like that descriptor of that guy's friend, like, I know her. I know exactly what she's like, how she is, and that's why I love reading Emily Henry's books, because there's just never a point where I'm reading a book and I'm just like, I'm not connecting with the character, or like, I'm not interested in this or that. Like, I always feel like her books just like hook me every single time. I don't know why I waited so long to read this book. Maybe because so many people said that they didn't really like it. So I like just was like, maybe I'm not gonna like it as well, but I feel like I'm gonna really love this one. Oh my god, now me realizing literally one sentence later that the girl that this guy is describing is the main character of this book. Like, that is just so cute. They were just like joking with each other. Like, I love books with banter, and I feel like this book's gonna have a lot of it. I'm ready to go to Target, but I wanted to give you guys a little book tip update with the books that I have finished. So I ended up finishing A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, and I finished Love Redesign. Guys, neither of these books were for me. Like, I don't know what it was, but like, I was so bored reading Love Redesign, and I love the entire Dreamland Billionaire series, and this made me like so sad because I felt like this was gonna be a 5-star read. Like, I think because like I love a friends to lovers trope, like I just felt like I was gonna be obsessed with it, and this book felt so long, and it felt like there was so much happening but also nothing at all. I love the banter in it, and I feel like it was really easy to read, so I did finish it pretty fast, but I just like, I don't know, I didn't feel the chemistry. Like, it felt kind of disjointed because they were like hating each other, and then all of a sudden they like kind of had feelings for each other, but it was like so quick. And then like they literally, at one point, one of them like tells the other that they love them, but it was so out of the blue. They were just having like a random conversation. I'm like, whoa, wait. wait. Where did this come from? So the book just felt weird to me. Like I just did not get the chemistry. I think that was like honestly the biggest part of it. So I rated this one 2 stars, and then this book, I feel like if you like magical realism and if you like historical fiction, you will love this book. But for me, you guys know I'm a romance girly through and through. Like I don't really care too much for magical realism and I don't really care too much for historical fiction. So I really was like grasping at straws to get more of the romance in this book, and I feel like I didn't get nearly enough. Like I did not get even close to the amount of romance that I wanted, and I feel like I started these and was just like reading these so fast because I just honestly just wanted to be done with them. But again, I do think if you like magical realism and if you like historical fiction, this was very like flowery, lyrical writing, and I expected to go into this book not having like the full focus be on the romance, because like I feel like Tia Williams does a great job of just like adding in other themes. Like in 7 Days in June, she added in like themes of trauma and healing, and so like I knew that I was going into a book that wouldn't just be like heavy on the romance, which is fine, but I thought that there would be more like themes of family, and like there was just a lot of like stuff in this book that I was like, what is going on? Like there was a lot of focus on like voodoo, and I kind of knew that going in too, but like I didn't think it would be like so heavily focused. Also, the magical part of it just didn't really make sense to me. The ending to me was very predictable. Like I don't know. I just was not obsessed with this. But again, if you do like magical realism and you like historical fiction, you should read this. I feel like it would be something that you would like. But to me, I just didn't really care for either of these. And I hate to say that because I thought that both of these would be very, very highly rated. I thought that this would be like a 4, maybe 4.5. That was, maybe not. Maybe that's kind of pushing it. I thought it'd be like a 4. And then I thought that this one would be like 5 stars because I love her writing and I also love her writing. But both of these just really let me down, and maybe it's just the purple books. I don't know. It just wasn't doing it for me. But we're gonna go to Target because I need to get some like groceries and stuff while we're there. And I'll probably look at the book section and just like see what is there. And then I'll give you guys some more updates on like people we meet on vacation. I'm trying to decide if I want to start, like which book I want to start next. The 2 books I'm thinking I might start, or maybe I'll just start one, I'm not really sure, are the mixtape by Brittany Cherry and Wildfire by Hannah Grace. Now the mixtape I feel like is very, very popular on Black Book Talk. I've heard so many people talk about her writing, and you guys know how I am. Like I literally get scared to read hyped up books, and this is supposed to be one of her best books. I've read 4 books of Brittany Cherry's, and Wildfire is a book that I'm kind of scared to read because I didn't really enjoy Icebreaker like at all because there was too much spice. But I really want to read the 3rd book when it comes out in June because I want to hear about that character's story. So I don't know, should I start both of them or just one? Like I don't really know, but we will see. About Target that's so different than like Barnes or something is how loud it is in here. I swear the vibe in Barnes makes me want to buy more books, and the vibe in Target makes me want to like go home. Well, I guess not like when I'm like shopping for like candles or like home stuff, but definitely when I'm in the book section, like it's not giving relaxing. But I had to come over here and see what they had, and I saw this book. This is why I love going to different like places for books. I feel like I always find different recs. But this book is called Ellie Haycock is Totally Normal, and it says that it's Breakfast Club meets 5 Feet Apart, and it is about a girl who she has like totally different lives. Like one life she's at home and like has a more like relaxed life, and then another she's at the hospital and she has like an illness, and it just looks like it's gonna be a really great book. I feel like these are the books that I would have gravitated towards a lot when I was in high school. I need to get back into this series because I loved reading Long Shot, but I never read Block Shot or Hook Shot, and I'm really big on doing this where I will literally like read one book, love it, be like so obsessed, and be like, okay, I'm gonna read the rest of the series, and just like not do it. I need to like have a video where I like read through all the series that I haven't read yet, because there's so many that I've started and haven't finished. Not because I don't love them, but like just because I literally pick up other books. But I really like this book a lot. I don't
know how I feel about this. I do think that I'm liking it more than Icebreaker, but then again, I liked Icebreaker up until like the halfway point, and then it just like went downhill for me. So part of me is like, am I only enjoying it because it feels a little like different vibes? Like, I don't know. I do think that I really like how Aurora is like very confident in this book, because I feel like, what was that other girl's name? I literally can't even think of her name. There was Nate, and then there was Anastasia, that's what it was, or Anastasia, I don't know. I feel like she was confident at one point, and then she just kind of like stopped being confident. So I really do like that Aurora is very confident in this book. I'm about 50 pages in. I'm on chapter 6. One thing that I noticed in this book that is cool is that they started mentioning this thing that her and her friend call the feeling scaries, and how like after you do something, whether it's like hook up with someone or like you do something crazy at a party, you like start overthinking like your actions. And I feel like that is so relatable, because at what point, like in college, do you just like stop thinking about other people's opinions? Like, I feel like it just doesn't happen. Like, the limit does not exist in how much you can overthink your actions, and this book is definitely giving college. I will say I am not obsessed with how this book jumped right into Spice. Like, they literally hooked up like right away, and I just like, you guys know I'm not like a huge lover of Spice, and she's like giving him like a lap dance and stuff like right in the first chapter. So that's the only thing that's kind of like, it definitely gets right into the story, but it's giving college. So like, I do think that I have a little bit more grace for this book, because like, that's literally what happens in college. Like, no one is creating a story out of nothing that like, what's the word? You know, people just like make a story and it's like so outlandish. It's like, yeah, that's definitely not gonna happen. Like, you know, maybe they like hook up on the way to like their kids like school play or something. Like, that could happen, but like is less likely than like someone dancing on someone at a party in college, like them hooking up and her going home. Like, that is pretty normal behavior for what you would see in a typical college setting. So I do think that maybe the spices in this isn't gonna be terrible. Maybe I won't hate it. I do like that this book is also shorter. This book is 380 pages. I also have very low expectations for this book, because I rated Icebreaker 2 stars. So we'll see. I am not really sure how I'm gonna feel about it, but you know, we will see as the story progresses. I also never end up showing you guys what I got at Target, so I'm gonna show you guys some of that. I got a card because Brady's birthday is coming up. I also got, which I already drank one, but I got these Premier protein shakes. I've been drinking these for years. They're just like a really good source of protein, but I usually drink the Fairlife ones, but they didn't have any of those at Target, so I just grabbed these. But usually I drink the Fairlife ones because they have 42 grams of protein, which is like way more. So I got that, and that's the rest in that bag. And then in this bag, I got Xyzal, which if you have allergies, like I actually have allergies all year long. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, literally in the winter too. Like, taking Xyzal helps so much. So I usually use Xyzal, and then when it's really, really bad, I'll have Xyzal and then like Flonase too. And Flonase is just like something that you put in your nose. But I take these all year long. And I know that's probably like pricey, because I mean, these are expensive, but I feel like the more I get this allergy medicine in my system, it really helps when like pollen and stuff starts like coming up in the spring. So don't just take the allergy medicine when you feel like you need it. Take it literally the whole year, and like you feel like you're becoming immune. Like, I literally don't even like sneeze or anything anymore. But it's because I take one every single day. And honestly, I'm not the type that like wants to be on any medication like all the time, but like if it's working, then I literally don't care. Like, I used to have the worst allergies all the time. I also ended up getting this raw sugar body wash. This just works really, really well. I've been using this for years. It smells really good too. And then I got these containers. I've never gotten these before. They're eco meal prep containers, and we like to, I wouldn't say we like to meal prep, but like kind of, because I don't meal prep like most people do. Like, you'll make a bunch of meals at once, but like if I make dinner, I also make lunch for the next day. And usually, like, example, if I make like gyros or something, usually I use like smoked sausage, and then I might use that same smoked sausage from that same batch that I cooked and put it onto like salad or on rice, and then I'll add in like Chipotle ranch dressing, and then add in just like other things that can make it like a different meal, but it's the same meat, if that makes sense. So it really helps, and you don't get bored of eating the same thing over and over again, because you literally don't. So like, for example, if I make chili for dinner, maybe I'll have tacos the next day, but I'll use the same meat. Like I'll cook it and then season them differently and then put them in different things. I kid you not, it has changed the game for me. Like I used to think like, oh, I need to meal prep like all these meals. No, I don't do that anymore. I do not like to cook that much. Also got some loofahs. I saw this TikTok that was like, you don't need to use loofahs. It like holds so much bacteria and dirt. And I'm like, okay, like what can I use? Can I use loofahs? Can I use towels? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's so many different opinions about what you should or shouldn't do health-wise or whatever, but I swear my body feels more clean when I use loofahs. Granted, I do change them out often. So yeah, I don't know. I also cannot use a towel because we are always behind on laundry. Like literally, we are never caught up. So if I use a towel, like we would be out of towels all the time. I also got Ouai's body cream, and it's called St. Bart's. I almost always use this lotion, or I use Summer Friday's body lotion, and both of those are incredible, or both of these are incredible. It doesn't really matter which one I use. I'd say the Summer Fridays one is a little bit more hydrating, but this one smells like summer. I guess the Summer Fridays one does too, but this one has a little bit more in it, and I think they're like roughly the same price. Also, you can't get the Summer Fridays one at Target, so I got this one. And then I also got these Quest chips, which these are 18 grams of protein, and I like these for a little snack. They are not actually a chip, but they taste like a chip. I'm pretty sure that the founder of this brand actually made these chips because his mom had like health issues and needed like more protein or something. So he made the chips literally for her, and so like they have like the best ingredients and all this stuff. So yeah, anyway, that's the little thing, like little haul that I got. Hopefully you guys enjoy like whenever I share other little bits and bobs of my life. I feel like I used to have like a full vlog channel, and then I transitioned to like sharing about books, which I'm obsessed with. And I feel like it really helps me compartmentalize like life, because I used to feel like I needed to share everything, like on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. And now I feel like I sprinkle little bits here and there of everything, but on different platforms. So I'm not like sharing everything. Like example, if I go like to putt golf or something, like I'm not pulling out my vlog camera, I'm not pulling out my phone so I can make a TikTok, I'm not pulling out my phone so I can make like a story on Instagram. Like I'm sharing bits and pieces everywhere. So if you're following on everything, you'll see everything. But I feel like here, I love sharing about books. Like just books are like my favorite thing to talk about here. And then on Instagram, I say that I share about books, but I also share about self-love and positivity. And then on TikTok, I share a lot about books, but more like the in the moment, like type of thoughts about books. Because obviously you guys are getting things like way after the fact. So yeah, you're gonna get books everywhere, but I feel like I share in different ways everywhere. And I don't know, I kind of like that.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings. My whole
Starting a new book today because I definitely always like to read a book by a Black author at all times. So like if I'm reading books that aren't by a Black author, I have to like sprinkle one in. And so since I'm reading People We Meet on Vacation, and I like am, you know, enjoying it so far, and I'm also reading Wildfire, I had to add in something else as well. So I decided to pick up the mixtape. I am like weird. I feel like I'm the only one who's like this. Comment below if you are too. But if someone hypes up a book by an author, I cannot read that book first. And I don't know what it is about me, but like Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, I could not read that book first, and I ended up reading Next of Kin first. By this author, I read Disgrace and The Coldest Winter by her first. Then I read The Air He Breathes, and then now I'm finally reading this book, which is like her most hyped up book. So let me know if you're like that. Like, I just feel like the book is going to let me down because it's hyped up so much. So I have to read something that's not hyped up to like have a very like, I don't know, a view that isn't like tainted by other people's thoughts. I don't know if I'm the only one who's like that. I also brought out some strawberries, and let me know if you guys knew this, but like I have had these sitting out for a while now and just like in the sun, and they are so much sweeter than they like normally would be, and now it's kind of making me want to like sit strawberries out, but I don't even know if you can like do that, like if they have to be in the fridge or not, but they're so much sweeter just by like sitting in the sun. I also brought my little like craft basket, which if you guys don't know, I have a lot of hobbies. Like I love crafts, I love drawing even though I'm bad at it, but I mean this is the time to do hobbies that we aren't good at. Like I feel like as an adult or as a kid, I feel like we would do tons of stuff that we just enjoy, just to enjoy it, like climbing trees and stuff, but then when we become an adult, we feel like we have to be good at it. And you guys know that like I was in St. Lucia and like painted with acrylic paints and stuff, and I was just like not good at it, and that's fine, like that's okay. Like I feel like it's nice to get better at things, but also we have to try things even when we're bad at it. I will say I have been enjoying the Skillshare class that is about acrylics because I feel like it's teaching me stuff that I wouldn't have learned otherwise, so there's that too. But yeah, I have like this little scrapbook and it's so freaking cute. I am obsessed with it. This is the scrapbook. A lot of the pictures are from last summer, so you guys can see like me outside with friends and stuff, and I am obsessed with it. This is the book itself. It's only like $13, so I will link it below, and it comes with like all of these like stickers and like everything. It doesn't come with pictures obviously, but it comes with like all the pages, and it's just like a really cute little book. I will say that I always tell myself like, well, whenever you get tired of reading, you can like work on a craft, but that just like never happens. Like I never get tired of reading. Like I want to read forever, and so sometimes I will just like set my crafts out, and that like helps me pick them up more, because like if they're just like in my basket, I feel like I don't grab them as often, but like if they're already out and like the stickers and everything is out, I feel like it's just easier for me to pick up and actually use. But I'm going to start this book, and hopefully this is a good one.
Dancing while the spring's still here. They don't make haste cause they know what's coming. We try to wash away our broken years, but it's so hard in the cold summer.
I'm all finished with these books and I don't know how to feel. Like I genuinely don't, and I think it's because this is the first time that I've finished 3 books and I wasn't obsessed with them. And I guess that's just like how the cookie crumbles, but like you guys know, I pretty much only read books that I really know that I'm gonna love. Like it's very rare that I'll pick up something that I just like don't love. Like, so I mean, sometimes I'll do it for the plot. Like I picked up Pugging Around, and I like know I don't really like spice, but like I didn't end up reading it because I was like, I just don't think I'll like it because it's like so spicy. Yeah, these just weren't for me. I read Love Song for Ricky Wilde. I ended up rating this 2 stars, which is not typical for me, as you guys know. And then I also read Love Redesign by Lauren Asher. I thought this was gonna be a 5-star book for me, and it ended up being not 5 stars. I also rated this one 2 stars, which is like so sad because I just thought that it was gonna be more than what it was. And then the last book that I ended up reading, Wildfire, was actually the one that I liked the best out of all of these. I feel like I liked how this one, I mean, it did have spice, but there was definitely more of a storyline in this than in Icebreaker. I think I rated Icebreaker 2 stars, which to me is like, I might recommend it to somebody, like if you have a specific taste, like example, if you like spice or something, but like, I'm not gonna just go around recommending the book. I'll definitely recommend this book still to people who enjoy magical realism or who enjoy historical fiction. But for me, I don't know if I'm gonna recommend this book because I feel like the Dreamland Billionaire series was like
much more enjoyable. So if I'm going to recommend anything by this author, I'll recommend that series. But this book, I will definitely recommend this one. I'm rating this one 3 stars. I feel like 3 stars is like mid, it's good, it's average. Sometimes you feel like you need those books in between, like those 5 stars. I enjoyed this one, and I am just like so flabbergasted that this was my favorite book out of the entire stack. But it was fun, it was fluffy, wasn't really too much to say about it. There were moments that were like deeper, like the main character had like family issues and things, and I think that that was enjoyable. But yeah, overall, I wasn't obsessed with these 2 books. So this is the first time that I have had like a video where I'm like reading books that I wasn't obsessed with. But again, I am reading so many other books right now. Like I'm reading People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I'm reading The Mixtape by Brittany Cherry. I'm also reading another book that is gonna be in another video, and it's gonna be all about like a genre that I don't normally read. I'm reading a book for that. I'm also reading, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys would know what that book is because I shared it on my stories. Also reading Lipstick and Camera Click. So I'm reading so many other books. So there are tons of good books that I am enjoying, but these just were not it for me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys will come back for the next one. Sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. Sometimes you aren't obsessed with the books that you read, and that is totally okay. This is a journey of reading, but I feel like the books that you aren't obsessed with, like kind of make you appreciate the ones that you're obsessed with even more. Like whenever you find those like 4-star, 5-star, like those books that you're like just so in love with, don't want to stop talking about, it makes you even more grateful for them. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.